Hello and welcome back. So this is Naples part 2. So if you've not seen part 1 where we were in Positano and Sorrento, go back and watch that. But because this day was so long, we did have to split this up into 2 different videos. And this is going to be Pompeii and our last night on the cruise. So a lot of the video in this, and especially when we're in Pompeii, is going to be our tour guide talking and speaking to us, because yet again we had a great tour guide and he was very informative. So he told a lot of information, and that's what the majority of this is going to be when we're in Pompeii. But first we went to lunch that Frederica recommended. This restaurant dropped us off here, and this was our first truly Italian pizza of our trip. We did have a little bit of a salad. It was different. It was not my favorite because we didn't really have any dressings to put on it other than olive oil and some balsamic vinegar. But that is the name of the restaurant, and we of course got a Coke and some water. And this restaurant was also very close to Pompeii. We did not have that long of a drive at all to go over there. I don't recall the name of that. Do you? Go try it. The bread is really good, isn't it? We should have got half and half. Oh well. And yet again, I'm a member of the Clean Plate Club minus the salad because it was not my favorite. But then we went to Pompeii. We saw all these vendors outside of there. I do wish we would have got like a souvenir or something from there, but we unfortunately did not. And in a minute, you're about to see a large map of how big Pompeii truly was. Obviously, we did not tour this whole area and city of Pompeii, but we did hit the high points and saw a large majority of it. But here we go. This is the tour.
And if you walk over here a little, you will see there the beautiful bronze statue. It's not an antique, let me tell you. Dates back 35 years ago, but they choose a fantastic location because right there, back to Roman time, exactly to the beginning of the century before Christ, but there was a beautiful front of the temple of Venus. Venus was the main goddess in Pompeii. So I told you behind you there was a small...
So I can't remember what these little rooms are with the doors on it, but they were there. And then over there is Mount Vesuvius, and that's how close it was to Pompeii. So that was cool to see it.
There was a beautiful floor decoration with marble tiles. Everything was stolen. And over the barracks and the wall in front of you, you can see the flight of steps of the main Roman theater. You see, they did make up for the shows in the evening this weekend. You see, we have the cheaper seats here. We're going down seats, the media carga for the middle class, the IMA for the rich people, and beautiful balconies. Then there is between the two the small building with roof tiles. That's the temple for the worship of the Egyptian goddess Isis. Up the stairs we have the ruins of a 6th century before Christ, a temple. Then there is a beautiful square with trees with a tree portico like this with 87 columns, dates back to the 4th. The theater dates back to the 2nd. It is a square to the 1st. You see, we have a puzzle of building here. And there were farms, agriculture, production. So in 1737, there was a farmer. He was working and searching for wood in the underground. And he found in North Carolina the fragments of the floor decoration of the theater. And he was present in 1857. Survived the dust of the Silver Age. You can see there the line forcing the dark waters to be running underground outside of here where we have the main one collecting all the no columns with hard columns. The problem is that with the tremors, you can see right there, the hard one is cracking and collapsing. But they understood that the ribs are cracking but are not collapsing. And here you see the shaft. These are the blocks that are facing the inside of the room. And you can see where the wooden beams were supporting the first floor. So the city and the square here was very busy. The second one upstairs was fantastic. And when I told you just the few public green areas, is because the value of a square meter in this city was unbelievable. That's the reason, because in the middle class, they were merchants having shops and living above the shops. Fantastic theater. You can see this is the main way. This one is the main way in and out for the actors. And this is the backstage. So here they were playing the makeup, a very simple makeup. And they were going to be on a wooden stage. You see there in front of you, there was a wooden stage. The flight of steps, if you think it's it's a reconstruction of the shape of your head. Look this. The floor decoration is the original one. And right there, musicians were playing performances. Let's stay here because they are a river, never ending. But you can see this is one of the main roads. Look the road in front of you. The slabs dates back to the same time of the theater. And exactly here, so under the road, we have the still working syringe I mentioned before. And I'm sure, and you will see on the road, there are stepping stones to cross the road. Now I'll show you. Because you have to think of stepping the stones. And look how the path goes under the green area. You see disappearing under the road today. Behind you, madam, you can see again the marks, the tracks of the wheels on the path. And let me tell you, they carved. This is not the product of thousands. They carved. Chariots larger or smaller than this one are not admitted into the city. And you can see that we have no room enough for two, because you are on the road with one car. And you can see this runs to the main theater, and on both sides you can see the beautiful red and yellow color facing the walls. The two gates on the left are going up to the top of the flight of steps of the small theater.
So they stayed out of the way of the
Exactly. And you will recognize, and now let me tell you, that you will recognize all the shops, because look in front of you, there is a dark slab and you see a rail carved in the middle. Also on the left, right there the same, madam, a system of sort of sliding doors, a system, wooden partitions to remove in a corner was fantastic, because the main guy who was going to keep over the side.
They were ahead of their time.
Yes, absolutely. As well, the shape of the area. These are the tools of that time, because they were the ability to keep the right slope. Don't forget, we have the sewage under the road and forcing outside not just the rain but also the dark water. And you see one more time the sliding doors system. And on the left you will see how the counter was vanished alive. An honorable restoration with you see the cement, but look, you see the jars, how the jars were enclosed in the bench.
So I can't remember if he said that this was something that was added later on when Pompeii was discovered, or if it was something that was already there or not, but still cool.
Look at the system. You see, right here the door was turning and keeping close to the activity. So he was leaving upstairs. He was going down, going to open the door and then lifting out one by one the wooden panels. Later I will show you evidences of the staircase going up. But look here, he was having, you see, 8 different warm meals to take away.
That's one of the amazing things that they didn't think about.
Look how nice is this? You can see the bend, and you can see how it's crossing with the main one there. Look how smooth is this. Just one meal to take away. He was there cooking in the corner. You see, there was the basement of a brazier, and this is the area of this ground floor.
Is this one?
And this is the way in and out for the slaves attending a house dates back to the medieval time. So we're talking about the middle of the.
This sign was really cool because it was actually there during Pompeii and it has lasted this long, so that was really cool.
How the roof was reconstructed. You can see this basin, you see the marble is the original one. The this little roof. So many times we found there in the middle of the basin, we found the statue of an answer or a basin. So it means that when the river was dropping down the marbles.
So this house was actually very large, but he kind of described it as owners that were not super wealthy. Like, they were obviously very wealthy, but they weren't the most wealthiest people who lived in Pompeii. It was still really cool to see all the frescoes and everything in it.
His daughter, she's the lady down hugging the statue. She drank something wrong about the horse. She was a priestess, that she was condemned by Jupiter, but she was going to tell you about the future, but nobody was believing her. Nobody was going to trust her. She was trying to prevent the entrance of the women into the And then on the left, you can see apparently the reasons why they got the war. Because you can see a man with a shield and a helmet sizing body hair is a pretty cool white color. He's like a man. So apparently that was the reason. Because obviously they were commercial business. So this first half of the house was forward. And we're going to walk to the garden. Two folded doors to be closed. And then the beautiful garden of the room where the family is living. And you know why? Because we found that the cracks of the burned roots was possible to make a reconstruction of the shape of the entire garden. So, and also we replanted oleander where there was the oleander, myrtle, whereas the myrtle roses. Yeah. And to show you a bedroom, you have to watch this one behind you. The Roman Empire was absolutely incredible, and including Egypt. Here we have a room, you see we got intact mosaic. Look where the door was turning, and you can see the mosaic, where you can see a boat there, and people sailing on the river having palms on the river banks. This is a Nile sailing. This room is unusual because they love red and yellow, and here we have green. And the green in the desert means oasis, and oasis means water. Marco Antonio was famous for his love with Cleopatra. You can understand how the roof was reconstructed and how the leaves would show all the. So they were more than rich. And do you remember the slaves were walking through this? Now it blows a little. If you come closer, you can feel that. And there was also one more reason, they were never cutting. Now you have to, we'll invite you to stretch your butt inside and have a look to the left, excuse me. We have three small rooms, the cold, the warm, and the hot.
It was even better.
Look at the paintings, the mosaics. Look there. Yeah, look at the blue waves, the dolphin, and look there all around the basin. Fantastic.
Where's the dolphin?
Right here.
Yeah. The rooms you can see here were with marble tables and flowers were just to the company. But the man you can see there crowned with gray. So the house is called the House of Menander because we found the portrait of the famous Greek dramatist here. And mythology, and the red Pompeiano is this one. The family, the beautiful the family is the red Pompeiano on the walls. But you can see the mosaic. Unfortunately, we lost the central part of it. But you can see the two, you know, the heads turning. They were, the slaves, they were producing the heat in the back and they were forcing, you know, the heat through the line there to make warm and hot the room. It was the hot room and this was the warm. And you see how we have a section there with the system of the tenon and of the mortise. There is not a screw there. The roof stands on the walls all around. And you see how clever and elegant was the way to fix the light, beautiful decoration with straws. Here there was the triclinium area. You know, there were coats, on the floor here. Along the walls there were sofas. In the middle there was the marble mensa, because they loved to be eating stretched. And then they were going to walk along the garden wall. So this is a poor area because the slaves, they were living here. They were storing products, they were cooking. And this one on your right was the stable. Take care of you here. And this is, you know, a reproduction of one of the chariots on windows facing the road for safety reasons. So here we have a few with green, because this is the Syrian society. Look behind you. Look how this roof cut it in two parts, the top of an archway there in the corner. This is a little related with the room we saw before under the dining room. You see, the previous level dates back to the second of the photographs. They found and then replaced with the clay decoration where you can see the corners.
It's possible to see the small base.
The door, you can see it, and the iron is the original one. Here we have the color sequence in chat. Let's go inside.
Can you see that? That is the place on the passage on the first right on the ground.
And I'm sure now this property dates back to the early second, and there was a different system. The reception was a place where he was discussing, how we can say, signing agreements, but having no garden in the back. He called a team of fantastic painters to make up the decoration of the living room. And now we will be alone and it will be fantastic. Because you'll turn around the corner and you will see what I'm doing.
This was my favorite thing I saw in Pompeii. It was so cool and it was mostly intact.
Line collecting the water from the roof. So there was a roof with a slope, but above you, between here and there was nothing. There was no roof. There was just the blue sky. So the marble table was there on the beautiful side, and here was the seating of the guests, the ground, the cement, entertainment, and flowers. So they were going to check that in the back. Fresco in Italian means fresh and also wet. They were facing the walls with the plaster, and when the plaster is ready, they were painting out with the mineral, vegetable, organic colors. And they were painting rapidly with some, And behind you, You can see, look how brave is this people. They replaced the beautiful ceiling decoration above the new pillars. Can you see? And over here, move a step to the left, and you can see the still life nature with the sparrows and pomegranates there. Can you stop?
Oh, what you do is you got a better camera.
And look here where you can see the wooden beams were supporting the mezzanine. This is the entrance of a house, there's shops outside.
Come on.
And this one in front of you, a fantastic property with a monumental front. We see more shops, the same system of sliding doors. In this case, he was having two big dining rooms. You can see there on both sides the Ionic capitals. And here all around the columns was running the roof. Watching through, you can see the second garden in the back. But now his property is huge. So we're going up to the slope of the mountain. He solved the problem with just one level inside his large property, making up this monumental platform. For example, look here, look on the left. You can see you see the track of the wooden staircase on the wall? Going up, and here one more time, see the wooden beams. So he was living upstairs and having his small chapel there in a corner. He was just a few yards away. Look, the bakery. Oh, and it is not just an oven, there is a second one there on the right. But they were not just cooking the bread, they were stewing, grinding, cooking, and having the bread for sale in the corner. You can see right there we have fragments of the millstones to grind. There is one of the last ceiling decorations. Dates back in Pompeii. Because after the earthquake in 62, many buildings were badly injured.
So this next area was really cool to look at because he had kind of explained like how advanced they were like in their technology and the things that they were doing.
Plus the marble of the original floor decoration. Here there was the gymnasium. There was a gymnasium here, the floor decoration here. But now there was a beautiful pool, you can see there. And a pool to swim, you know. It was a place to study, for refreshment. And you can see there on the right the steps going down, because there were two beautiful verandas on both sides. And you can see the decorations.
So that's actually a pipe. I believe it could have been made out of lead, so obviously that's not good because of, you know, lead poisoning and stuff, but it was still really cool for them to have thought this far and think like this is a pipe for water. And it's kind of a question to think about, like, if had Pompeii not been destroyed by a volcano, how technologically advanced could we be to this day? So this ceiling is also fully intact, or mostly intact I guess, but it's one of the few ceilings that was actually left from the eruptions and everything. So we did have to wait in a short line to see this bathhouse, but this next clip that I'm going to show is actually where they would go to bathe off and everything, and this was kind of like a area where most people would gather, and it didn't really matter your wealth status unless you were super wealthy, and obviously you had your own. But this was kind of a short clip because I was trying to be quick, but this is where they went and bathed off and everything here.
Can you see the lockers?
Yes.
Seats and the lockers. Brilliant system invented by the engineers. They will be back here. Now that we
Yeah, we better take it.
Oh yes. The system was called the suspensure, and the suspensure is the name of the pillars you can see in front of you and all around you. All around you. So this is the warm roof. Huh? And look how every square meter we have 4 pillars supporting the floor. So it means that under the floor there was the heat, there was a cavity. Now have a look on the right. You can see the main wood, and you can see cavities running all around the roof. So the cavities running around with the main one running underground, under the floor. Because you teach me the hot air runs upright. Now I told you this is the warm. And the second one was the hot room. Those 2 ways, back to that time, were under the floor. Everything will be clear in a few minutes. Now this is you see here, this is the main wall. And you can see we have no slabs, but we have pipes. Now all the plan was to keep the temperature. So they were burning in the furnace between these 2 buildings in the back. And they were forcing and pumping the heat that was running through these heaters and out from both sides. But the fountain you can see was trapping so the floor was warm. They were going to spread it around, and the steam was running there's 2 ways. The heat, like the fountain, the other side, and the low temperature and the low temperature. Now have a look at the size of these 2 rooms. The difference of size is equal, the difference of temperature, the difference of how they calculated is a mistake because it's watching to the left corner there.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
The whole collapsed, but you can see there the front of a warboat where you see the comma here. Under that, you can see the stick that will go up some bars to make it stronger, as you can see here. Small things. 9 neighborhoods. There were 9 neighborhoods. Look at that. Behind you, madam. Over those trees there is the second half of the city going to the east side. And now, have a look behind you, take care.
Feels good.
Just to take care of you. Beautiful mountain. City planner's office. Then there was the Senate there in the middle, and the third room from the platform. You can see there, so the sun is going.
A quick picture in the wind.
It's not really a body.
No, those are plastic bodies. That's real because inside there the cast we have the skeleton. I mean, the cast in this case is giving you the idea on how quick everything finished, and at the same time protecting the skeletons and everything is inside. Madam, have you seen the beautiful quality of this pack? See, the wide eyes are reflecting the moonlight by night.
Oh, wow.
Are eyes of cats.
Yes, I see that it
It is also very comfortable because it makes it flat, very right, very comfortable. You see how big is this building on your left? Look, where's the sea today? Can you see the sea now?
I do.
And now you will see an arch, and the arch is the sea gate. So I'm trying to say that the sea was just a few hundred yards away.
So it would have been a lot closer.
Was closer.
Yeah.
Was just over the arch you see there, 300 yards away.
Oh, okay.
And look where's today, miles away. This is the statue we were watching from the bottom. So under, going down, we have the large commercial area.
It was cool to see the statue closer up because we actually saw it when we first started the tour.
The main one is here. That's the volcano of Pompeii. That's the burning fields area where we have the hot sulfur springs. And it's still active. 2 years ago there was a 5.2 earthquake there. This is an excellent point of view for you. No, that's the pregnant lady, but look this in front of you. You can see the special of the plane. You can see his school. You will see his teeth. Can you see that? He was a 25 years old man. Can you see his teeth?
Yeah.
So don't forget, inside here there is the skeleton, so it will give you an idea about the drama of these people. She is the pregnant one. So we scanned the body. It was possible to be reading the skeleton of the baby, but also the skeleton of the horse. She was on the free. They were blocked at home. They were waiting for the end of it. They never thought about the death. And if you turn around the corner, you will see how a melted glass here. With this. It's possible to survive unbelievable temperatures, unbelievable temperatures. And behind you there are two. Let's go that way.
Okay, guys. We can understand.
So really, just 2 days back to the first attack. Then we have the 1984. So you see, they show the power of the picture.
Now we can understand the because the legs, the feet,
He was standing up and having to go in the head.
the shape of a root in plaster.
A big fish is down and serves the reactor to the first.
Looking the shape
That's twisted.
guys,
These are techniques.
injecting the liquid plastic. We know it's famous
Also for
objects. You can see objects.
we didn't see there. You see the red paprika in two pictures. So the glass. Look the stove, the 20th century old stove. And you can see the two wings, the top, you know, the trident to reverse the top. This lantern in front of you, the Tintinabulu. You see here the pre-Apple sign and the bells to tintin away the bad influences. And those are two shells are cast. How beautiful. You see the two shells. That's the case. And the lanterns were burning oil on sticks like this. But look how delicate and fine and elegant this is, you know, the decoration. portrait of that time. This is an electoral comedy. You can see this is the candidate, and he is the senator introducing him. But on the right, you see the chief of the party and the politicians. And so they are supporting him. And right here, there was the portrait of the candidate that was appeared. So vote for him. This one was removed from one of the tools at Pompeii. Same thing with that behind you.
Sorry. So there's going to be a song that plays in just a few seconds, but I feel like someone done that intentionally, but it kind of is, I don't know, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of not because of what happened, but here it is. So this is unfortunately some of the last clips that you're going to see of our tour. I did not film anything else after this, but this is the end of the tour. This is outside of the Pompeii entrance, and you can see multiple people are going, coming, leaving, picking up, trying to leave. You can see like how big of a traffic jam this was, and I think Frederica had even said that this was when school was getting out, maybe. I don't know that for sure or not, but you can see just the amount of people. But it was okay. We were talking to our tour guide a little bit. He was telling us all the new findings in Pompeii, and as he was talking to us, you could really tell that he actually cared about what he was doing in his work and how he was showing people Pompeii. And so that was really cool to listen to him, because like I said, you could actually tell that he cared about it and the preservation and everything of Pompeii. So like I said, these were our last clips, because once we got in the car, I was so tired. My mom was really tired. We did talk to Frederica, and we had a nice conversation with her. I just did not film any of it because I figured since I had got videos of us coming in, I didn't really need them going out. And it was really good because we later heard that there was a crash going somewhere. We found that out later, so it was really good timing when we decided to leave, because we could have been caught in that and I guess just left in Naples. But she did leave us some candies and little wipes in the car, so that was really nice. But once we got onto the ship, we had to book it to get everything packed and everything. I can't remember exactly what happened, but there was a small little mishap, I think with our card and our laundry, and that had happened to us before. I think maybe it just lost service or something, so our card didn't work. So that kind of set us behind a little bit on our laundry, and of course everyone else is trying to do laundry because it's the last night. And with us having dinner, the second seating for it, we actually had to have our bags done before we even went to dinner, because it was either do that or just have to carry your bags off separately, and we had way too many bags to be doing that. I don't think there was a show or anything that we had to go see this night, which was really good, because I guess we would have just had to have missed it because we were packing and everything. But we did eventually get packed. But one of the things we were trying to do as we were packing was we were trying to keep all the clothing that we were going to wear in Rome separately, and try to keep packing and rearranging and stuff in Rome as minimal as possible. So I kind of worked a little bit. We ended up having to do that in Rome again, but you're gonna see how big of a disaster it was just getting into Rome tomorrow or next week, and which would have been tomorrow for us. But you will see, like, it was just not a good day that day, and so unfortunately next week there's not going to be a lot of clips of us leaving the ship or getting off for breakfast or anything. Um, but we did enjoy ourselves this night. Like I said, I don't think there was a show or anything, but once we got packed, it kind of eased my mom's feelings a little bit. We did have to come back to the room after eating and try to fill our carry-ons and our backpacks and everything. So that was a bit of a worry, I guess. But we did get everything packed and everything, and just tried to enjoy the last night of with our new friends and our table mates at dinner. We had a great dinner this night, and we were on the animator's palette this seating, so we did get to see our drawings that we done on the screen with the animations and stuff, and I will show that in just a little bit. But that was really cool and neat for us to go and see and do. And then we had a little show. It was, I guess, the last night of the cruise show, and it had all the characters on it, so that was again a really nice thing that we just happened upon after we left dinner that night.
I'll be back later, but right now we invite you to sit back and relax as the dining room proudly presents
your dinner. Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test.
So again, I don't know what any of the things that we ate this night was, but I don't think there was anything that I ate any time at dinner that was not good. So everything was great again. And then it was time for the character drawing show.
They didn't listen to me because they didn't have one. So I think maybe our people didn't. I want the kitty cat.
Whoever drew the Ariel was really great at drawing, and you can kind of hear the audience go like, wow, that's really great, whenever there was one that was really good like that. Again, whoever done this Mickey Mouse, great, looked exactly like Mickey Mouse, so that was really cool to see that too. And this one was my mom's. I think hers was the one with the blue hair and the weird fingers, I think. I don't know that for sure. And the little green monster was mine. I tried to do Mike Wazowski, and you can kind of see how well that turned out. Again, you can see my Mike Wazowski with Pumbaa. And there's mine and my mom's name, Katie and Tanya. Again, no notes. Dessert was great. That chocolate thing, I'm sure, was great. I'm sure that was really good too. I think I do remember liking my mom's peach dessert that I'm about to show in just a few seconds, but I honestly cannot remember at all. And then I got a few last minute pictures with Daisy and Belle before the show.
Goofy. Good night, Goofy. And now, Mr. Dream, we would never dare to say goodbye to Minnie and Mickey, would we? So on the count of 3, let's say see you real soon, Mickey and Minnie. 1, 2, 3. See you real soon, Mickey and Minnie. Well, friends.
And then it was time to go back to the room and get one last look on the balcony. You can see we are really speeding it there. We were going very fast and I could feel it, and I'm so glad I had scopolamine patches. It's not, but this was our Talonmal, the little dog, and I think this is it for this day in Naples. So if you're liking these videos, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next week in Rome.